So check this out. The FBI director raises a national security concern about TikTok. Let's check it out. What's up, guys? It's Josh back with another video, and today I wanted to cover some more cybersecurity news. And this is an article or a statement that's coming directly from the FBI director, and he's raising concerns about the TikTok app. Now, I'm one of those people that are kind of slow to hopping on to new social media platforms or whatever, and it took me a long time to get on TikTok, and mainly all I do is post like small clips of the interviews that I do with various people that work in the tech field or other YouTubers or so. And that's mainly how I use the platform, and pretty much all the platforms like Instagram. I have an Instagram, and mainly all these accounts that I have are tailored towards what I'm trying to do to spread the message about the Linux operating system, as well as helping people get into the tech field. So I try not to put as much information as possible on these social media sites, because we all know they're pretty much tracking everything you do. But the social media platform TikTok is a whole nother animal. It's basically ran by the Chinese government, you know what I'm saying? And this was an interesting article, and I thought I would share with you guys, so you guys can be aware of what's going on with these different platforms that you may hop on and use. So let's hop over to the article and check it out.
Before we move forward, I wanted to ask the KeepItTechie fam to consider joining my channel membership. By joining the membership, you can support the channel, get access to member-only videos, tech mentorship, early technical course access, and exclusive Linux content. Thanks, and back to the video.
Alright, cool. So this article was released on December 2nd, 2022, basically a week ago. And the title of the article basically states, FBI director raises national security concerns about TikTok. And this is on the Washington Post. Washington, FBI director Chris Wray is raising national security concerns about TikTok, warning Friday that control of the popular video sharing app is in the hands of a Chinese government that doesn't share our values. And that's where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's a whole nother country that actually runs this platform, and they can pretty much do whatever they want with this information that's gathered from this platform. Because like I stated earlier, all these platforms, they track pretty much everything you do. They try to get everything, location data, all that information most people put out there, you know what I'm saying, willingly. Well, that information shouldn't be going to a foreign government at the end of the day. But as you can see, it says Ray said the FBI was concerned that the Chinese had the ability to control the app's recommended algorithm, which allows them to manipulate content, and if they want to use it for influence operations. Yeah, and that brings up like the issues that they were talking about during one of those elections, where there was supposedly influence from other countries via social media. I think Facebook and Twitter, a couple apps were being used for those purposes, based on the information that was released about the whole situation during that election. And I think that was when Trump first got into office. But it also says, he also asserted that China could use the app to collect data on its users that could be used for traditional espionage operations. Yeah, and that's 100% true. That goes back to what I said. They pretty much tracking everything you do. And then I read an article a little while back about TikTok, because a lot of this has been going on for a while. They've been putting out information about TikTok for a very long time on the way the app may or may not be used by China. And one of the things they were saying was that they heavily promote positive content to their people, like educational content and things like that, but then push all the I don't know, ratchet type of content to everyone else and in different countries. So there is that, chance that they could be manipulating the content, because we really don't know how the algorithm works in a lot of these companies. And that goes for, Facebook, that goes for Instagram, that goes for all these different companies, YouTube as well. You know what I'm saying? The algorithm kind of controls what people see and what's recommended. And that's why a lot of people bring up, well, maybe the algorithm could be controlling how popular a creator gets, over time, by recommending, this creator over other creators, you know what I'm saying? Or making situations, or creating situations where certain content creators can go viral faster than others. And that's always been a concern. But it also says all of these things are in the hands of a government that doesn't share our values. And that's true. They don't share our values. They have their own agendas at the end of the day. But they could pretty much say the exact same thing about us, at the end of the day. A lot of these companies that we, put out there, Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff, those people like those apps over in China as well. But, the Chinese government could think the exact same thing. Well, they can manipulate, things in their country. So it's a two-way street at the end of the day. But it says, and that has a mission that's very much at odds with what's in the best interest of the United States. That should concern us. And it says, Ray told an audience at the University of Michigan, Gerald R. Ford School of Public Policy. Now, it also says the concerns are similar to the ones he raised during congressional appearances last month when the issue came up. And they're being voiced during ongoing dialogue in Washington about the app. Now, it says, concerned about China's influence over TikTok, the Trump administration in 2020 threatened to ban the app within the U.S. and pressured ByteDance to sell TikTok to a U.S. company. It says U.S. officials and the companies are now in talks over a possible agreement that would resolve American security concerns, a process that Ray said was taking place across U.S. government agencies. Now, that is one thing, they should be able to do, you know what I'm saying? Because I know it's a lot of regulations for our, now I did talk about, it's a two-way street, but there are a lot of regulations that U.S. companies have to follow when they set up shop in these other countries. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, they're more stringent than the rules that we have, you know what I'm saying, in the US. They have way more stringent rules for companies, in other countries versus the other way around when, someone creates something coming over here. And so this should even a playing field by them, trying to resolve it and address those security issues. You know what I'm saying? Now it says, as Director Ray has previously said, the FBI's input is being considered as part of an ongoing negotiation with the U.S. government. TikTok spokesperson Brooke Oberwetter said in an email statement, while we can't comment on specifics of those confidential discussions, we are confident that we are on a path to fully satisfy all reasonable U.S. national security concerns and have already made significant strides towards implementing those solutions. And it's kind of in TikTok's best interest as a company, but you never know what the government, would want to do, behind this company as well. So, but it says TikTok is owned by Beijing-based ByteDance. The TikTok statement Friday noted that ByteDance is a private company and that TikTok Incorporated, which offers the TikTok service in the United States, is a U.S. company bound by U.S. laws. Now it says at a Senate hearing in September, TikTok Chief Operating Officer Vanessa Pappas responded to questions from members of both parties by saying that the company protects all data from American users and Chinese government officials have no access to it. So that's good. If that's what they're saying, they don't have access to it, you know what I'm saying, then that's good, for them to say. But at the end of the day, we really don't know. But to go back what I was saying earlier about them, it's in their best interest to comply, or not comply, that's kind of a strong word, but to come up with some type of resolution when it comes to these security concerns, is that it's kind of like one of the number one social media sites right now, or it's up there in the top 5 of social media platforms, and it's in their best interest to try to come up with a solution, because they'll lose a big portion of their market, and therefore drop the company down. So it is in their best interest to try to come up with some resolution to address these security concerns. And then the last statement, he says, or she says, "We will never share data, period." So like I said, this is an interesting article. I think you guys should check it out or whatever. I'm always slow when it comes to joining new cybersecurity, or not cybersecurity, but new social media platforms. It always takes me a while. I know people been on TikTok for years. I'm just now getting on it. I would say this year, in the later part of this year. And it was the same thing with Facebook. It took me a long time to get off of MySpace. You know what I'm saying? I loved MySpace because, Facebook was like, okay, it's kind of like too controlled. It was kind of like, I looked at Facebook and MySpace at that time when, they were both competing. You know what I'm saying? MySpace was like the Android, because you can go in and root, your MySpace page, add code and all that stuff. And then Facebook was like the iPhone, iOS, where pretty much everything is controlled, by Facebook, like the look of the pages, that everybody profile looks exactly the same. That's the same thing with iOS devices. Everybody's iPhone looks pretty much the same. You can have different like little backgrounds, but it's pretty much the same, and you can't do anything outside of what Apple wants you to do on the phone. But anyway, I digress. This was a good article, and I think you guys should be aware of it. So definitely check it out. I'll have the link down in the description of the video so you can read through it yourself. And be careful with a lot of these social media sites. I guess that's my whole reason for saying all that, or telling you guys that. That's why I'm kind of slow with it. Just kind of be careful with all these new social media sites. Just protect your information, because at the end of the day, these companies are out to get money at the end of the day, and you as an individual is the way they make money, by gathering your information and selling it off to advertisers and using it for other reasons as well. So be careful, protect yourself. Also like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And if you have any questions, or leave your comments down in the comments below. And of course, keep it techie.